the show. Hello and welcome to Don't You Know Who I Am, the podcast that asks who knows whom, who knows what, because who knows why. My name is Josh Earl, and this week I discovered that my criminal namesake, Mr. Josh Earl, who was in the Polk County Community Jail, he's back in the big house, everyone. This time, 3 charges: bail jumping, disorderly conduct, and probation hold. Come on, he didn't hurt anyone. He probably just slept in. It's a pandemic. Everyone's disorderly now.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, if this is your first time, and also if you're listening to this on the Thursday, this is another Zoom one. I've got a whole bunch of my closest friends in the Zoom, and we're watching the trilogy, the third and final in the trilogy. And as everyone knows, the trilogy is always the best. Godfather 3, Back to the Future 3, and this. It's going to be the best. So let's meet the guest now. Our first guest is an actor who shares his name with the director of coaching at Florida Elite Soccer Academy. Can you please welcome? It's Sir Michael Caine.
It's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you, Sir Michael?
I'm having a very nice time on my patio, sipping a Fernet Branca.
Whereabouts? You strike me as someone who spends the summer in France or something like that.
At the moment, I'm in England.
Oh, yes.
Because that's where I mainly live. And I have wonderful dogs. I've got so many dogs. I raise and breed tiny little Pomeranians. They're little, wonderful, tiny little dogs. And you wouldn't believe where I find them. I lose one of the Pomeranians, and all of a sudden, there's it. I bloody haven't seen you in years. That's what I say to little puppy. And he, of course, gives me a little wink and goes about his day on whatever business that he was up to. It's wonderful.
Very good stuff. Also joining us is a man who shares his name with a nurse in Broadmeadows. Can you please welcome from Do Go On? It is Matt Stewart.
Hey, how's it going? Broadmeadows, beautiful neck of the woods.
And an essential worker. You must feel proud sharing your name with an essential worker, Matt.
It is good, yeah. With a unique name like mine, it's good to find another one with it. I would have told you this before. I grew up around the corner from a guy who had the exact same name as me, including middle name.
That is unbelievable.
200 meters away. It's a very common name.
Did you go to the same school? Was he your age?
No, his kids went to my school though, so he was a school dad.
I think I've said this on the show. I went all through my primary school and high school with 2 girls called Bianca Spinks. And one was Bianca Marie and the other one was Bianca Lee. And then we got to year 11, 12. And I think Bianca Marie didn't do 11 and 12. She finished in grade 10. And so with Bianca Lee, I said, hey, Bianca Lee. And she goes, it's just Bianca now. The other one's not here. You can just So for her whole life, for 10 years of her schooling, she was hating anyone calling her Bianca Lee the entire time, which I guess I would too if it was
Bianca Lee.
Hello, Joshua Adam. What's your middle name, Michael?
My middle name is Pertwee.
Pertwee.
That's right. Little Pertwee. And the kids at school, they used to say, oh, Pertwee, you fuck you.
No.
It was really rude. But I gave them one of these looks, one of my famous looks. These ones. And they all just ran away, just like that. Of course, this is an audio medium, but just imagine that I looked really hard at them like this. and just imagine that in your mind's eye. You, of course,
I much prefer this normal look you're giving us. Much friendlier, warmer in the eyes.
Yes, I'm using my warm eyes.
All right, and finally is a documentary filmmaker who shares his name with a junior analyst in Copenhagen. Please welcome back to the podcast. It's Louis Theroux, everyone.
Hello, it's me, Louis Theroux. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much. It's great to see you, Josh. Have you been working out? I myself have been working out.
I've done some research. You're doing the Joe Wicks.
That's right. Yeah, I'm doing the Joe Ritz, but I'm also going and just seeing some of the saddest people and saying, isn't this sad? And there's nothing that puts you off your lunch quite so much as just something that is incredibly sad.
Oh, that's Louis. You've got to get out a bit more and see some happier people.
Yes.
Just seeing sad people all the time would affect you, I think.
Absolutely, I agree. And I like to spice things up at home, of course.
Oh, yes?
We make things, I always say you don't have to be crazy to live in our house, but it certainly helps.
That's a great joke. Great
Yeah,
joke.
it's great. It's just a little joke. We love to have a little joke and a laugh around. Like sometimes I'll go up to my children and I'll say, Kevin, what are you doing? Do you think that's a bit, I mean, I'm just your father. It just seems to me like why, I would be sharing. Isn't that right? I just think that maybe I'm just Louis Theroux, your father from the BBC, but I just think maybe you should share your toys. It seems to me, is now a good time? It seems to me like you should share your toys. And anyway, we have a big, long talk, and then eventually he tells me to fuck off.
Okay. See the oldest one?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to know if you, like you say, you're always joking around. Like, do you have any jokes? Like, do you have a knock-knock joke or anything? Oh, I've offended Louis Theroux. Oh, no.
Sorry, I just left. I'm here, though. I'm here. I'm just here.
I've got to see. Yeah, I know. I've got to add the spotlight to you. So there you go.
If that happens again, then I'm gonna go. The wizard will have to be uncurtained, so to speak. I was saying that you just look at your children and you just know that one point, what a nice little boy. I can't wait for him to grow old enough to tell me to fuck off.
I can't wait. I've got two myself, and I reckon we're very close. We're very close to that happening, especially if lockdown continues for much longer. Anyway, let's get into the show. Our first game today is called You Can Quote Me on That. Now, in this round, I'll read out quotes from the four of us, okay? Because I'm in this one as well. Now, these are from anywhere. These can be from books, can be from social media, interviews you've done. I've found 10 quotes that I think are very funny, and I'm going to read them out. So your names are your buzzers. If you know who wrote it, you get a point. If you get it incorrect, the person who actually wrote it, they get the point. So here we go. Okay. Question 1. I like eating food after it's gone off. Who's that? Yes, Matt.
That sounds to me like Louis Theroux.
Matt Stewart, you are correct. That is a Louis Theroux, yes.
Well done, Matt. Is an experimenter, right? Everything in life for him, it's all experimenting, figuring out what the edge is.
I've had to give it up.
It's all right. We lasted 10 minutes. It was good.
But only me changing the states was too much for Zoom, and Zoom was like, no, thank you. So sorry, I'm Louis Theroux. I'm Michael Caine.
No, you're Louis Theroux.
Yes.
And that's Michael Caine.
No, I'm Michael Caine.
There you go. Yes, exactly. I think, it's fine.
Someone's trying to tell me that I'm not Michael Caine. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absurd. And it's quite frankly, it's offensive.
But Louis, you love eating food past its use by date if it's gone off.
I do. I don't. No one believes those things. It just seems like it's sort of just a suggestion, isn't it?
Well, I heard that use by and best before are two different things.
Totally different. Yes.
Yeah.
Best before is just in its peak. It's premium. It's you in your mid to late 20s.
Yes.
But best afterwards, just because you're in your 30s or in your 40s doesn't mean you don't taste great.
Yeah.
I taste fantastic, and I'm sure that Sir Michael Caine does.
Yes, I taste a lot like chocolate dripped with strawberries.
Oh,
that's
sounds very good.
I'm very luscious and erotic. I'm an
chocolate.
Erotic
Hang on.
Being.
So you taste like chocolate dipped or dripped?
Dipped in strawberries.
Oh, I thought you said dripped with strawberries. I was going to say like strawberry paste.
Usually you would dip the strawberries into chocolate.
Yeah.
I do things different.
That's why you're a sir. So point there for Matt. Question 2. Not sure why baby spinach has the washed and ready to eat market cornered. The rest of the vegetables should get off their lazy asses and have a wash too.
Michael Caine.
Yes, Michael Caine.
That sounds like the kind of sort of irreverence that could only be Matt Stewart.
You are correct. That was a Matt Stewart. Point there for Sir Michael Caine. Yes.
I enjoy his comedy, and I watch him on the television every night.
Oh, are you on telly, Matt, every night?
Yeah. What are you catching me on, Sir Michael?
Catching you on your on the fantastic show, Matt's all about it. That, of course, only is in the UK, but he is very big in the UK. He cannot go down the street without getting mugged because they're like, "That's Matt Stewart from Matt's All About It," and it's wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much. It is always nice to meet a fan, Sir Michael.
Yeah, sometimes when I have to go to the shops, I go, "Matt, go down the shops," and so that I can go down the shops because people will be too, confused, and they'll be like, "Oh, there's Matt Stewart," and I'll just slip on through because I can be quite sneaky. But of course, you do not live in the same country.
I know the show's up and running already, Matt, but I would have went with Matt's All Folks. That's just me. That's fine. I'm not saying it's better, just different.
Go with that in America. They normally need something a bit more streamlined over there.
Yeah.
So.
All right, question 3. The trouble with women, elbows.
Oh, Matt.
Yes, Matt.
Look, that's got the sort of acerbic vibe of a Sir Michael Caine.
You are correct, Matt. That is Sir Michael Caine, yes.
That's right. I was bending over and I bumped her elbow and I said, "Oh, that is a doozy." So
are you suggesting that maybe people, like female identifying people, just remove the elbow?
That's right. I am a gentleman, so let me get the pain for you. Of course, I always open a door before for a lady, and I will gladly continue that because, of course, ladies will not have elbows.
Excellent. Right.
You know what I'm saying, Matt? He's gone.
Oh, is Matt gone? Oh, no.
Oh, he's frozen.
He has frozen.
It's ridiculous.
Well, at least I'm stuck with 2 other guests. That's all right.
It's we're still here. We're still having a great time. I'm just having a little sit. I'm not wearing any pants, but you can't see it in the stream.
Please don't tubin on the stream. I don't want any more tubins happening.
No tubin, absolutely.
Now I've just got to go through the huge list of people and find Matt Stewart as he comes back in. Are you here, Matt?
Yes, I am here. Thank you so much for having me. It's a real pleasure. We're going from the top.
I've got to find you with the thing so I can. Here we go. I've got you here.
How many Matts could be there in here?
There we go. Add spotlight.
I wasn't sure if it was. It was either my internet had failed or the 200 people in here had all frozen at the same time. I was kind of hoping it was the latter, but
we've got people in the comments saying it's going so well. So this is great. All right.
The best thing about freezing is that you never blink. And of course, as everyone knows, yes. I maintain all my power on the cameras because I never blink, not even once.
Question 4. Don't live in the past. Live in the now. People who live in the past are awful. Hitler, for example, he's from the past. And let me tell you, he was a real piece of work.
Michael Caine.
Yes, Michael Caine.
Is that Louis Theroux?
No, that is Matt Stewart there. Point there for Matt, yes.
Well, that was me.
No.
I mean, of course, I would be able to do that joke, but Matt, it doesn't seem like Matt can do that joke. Politically correctly speaking, seems problematic, Matt. Do you think that do you regret what you're doing? Maybe that you tweeted it out? Do you think that that's probably not? I mean, it seems to me like it's maybe an insensitive thing to do.
I hadn't really considered that.
As I walked away, I knew that Matt had never really considered that and that he never would.
But Matt, you followed this up on Twitter saying that you did this on stage.
The reputation of... Yes, I did it on stage that night after it got a few likes on Twitter and it bombed. So I didn't do it on stage again.
I've got a joke for you.
Oh, yes.
Knock, knock.
Who's there, Sir Michael?
Anita, remember.
Anita, remember who?
That's your bloody problem, not mine. I'm Michael Caine.
Great joke, Michael. Great.
Thank you. I am a real orator.
All right. Question 5. Hey, someone should do a documentary called Down to the Last Two about people who almost got the part of famous roles and how they've coped with it.
Louis Theroux?
Yes, Louis.
Is that Michael Caine?
No, that's Josh Earl. I get a point. Yes.
Josh Earl. Have you ever? What's the closest role that you've come close to but never got it?
I came close to a car commercial that went to a guy who was like on Home and Away for 4 years, down to me and him, and I didn't get it. And I went for an ad for Metamucil. It was offered an ad for Metamucil, and another guy I know got the ad.
Who got it?
This comedian called Ben Russell. And so I, you always look at the gigs that you might have gotten, you spend the money in your head and then you find out someone got it. And yeah.
Honestly, it's the worst. If you ever see Ben Russell's up for your part, you give up. Don't waste your time.
You're never going to get it.
I bet he is absolutely swimming in all that Metamucil money.
I don't really understand how he's allowed to do so many different ads.
No,
well, if you can be quite a chameleon, I suppose. It's all about your sort of versatility. Don't you think there, Matt?
Yeah, that's true. He's very versatile.
I don't know if he's that versatile, but that's right. We'll move on.
I'm extremely versatile.
You are Michael Caine, yes.
That's right. Sometimes I could be Michael Caine, and I'm Michael Caine. I'm quite sad. Other times I'm Michael Caine, and I'm quite forward, and
yes.
I talk and I'm very direct. And then other times I'm Michael Caine, and I'm very old. I'm old Michael Caine.
Are you ever old and sad?
Sometimes I am, as a matter of fact, and it just goes to show the versatility that I can exuberate.
Yeah,
question:
the three primary colors of Caine.
Yeah,
and you can mix and match. You mix sadness with oldness, and you get a whole new Caine.
Yeah,
does that make any sense?
Welcome to the House of Caine.
If I could just do a big plug for my Caine store that is still up and running.
Yes,
Michael's Caine, and you can in fact mix and match the three primary Caine colors. Those are, of course, R, G, and B, to make all different colors. And we will sit down and we'll say, which sort of Caine would you like and what sort of color? And people go, I thought Caine only came in one color. No, it doesn't. It comes in many colors.
Excellent. Next question. I wish every night before bed I could remove my eyeballs and place them in mineral water overnight and then just put them back in the morning so they feel fresh.
Michael Caine.
Yes, Michael Caine.
Is that Louis Theroux?
No, that's Josh Earl again. I get another point. I'm racking up the points here. This is good. I like throwing points in my own game.
Is that because I have glasses, Michael?
Yes, it is. But so do I.
Well, touche.
Technically, I should as well, but I just don't wear them.
Well, they're called corrective glasses for a reason. So you wear them and then your eyesight will be better.
Well, I'm only meant to wear them at night. I've got astigmatism that changes, especially if I'm driving.
At night, you're going to sleep at night time.
Well, that's just how I'm doing it.
At night, you can't see. You can't see. Every time when the sun goes down, Michael Caine goes to bed. Matt,
you've got glasses on. You look like a professor has just walked in the room.
I know. I don't utilize this enough. People think I'm real stupid. That's because I'm never wearing my glasses. I used to wear them every day before COVID, and then COVID started, and I never left, my lounge room, so I didn't have to see that far away, and I haven't worn them since.
Yeah.
They look very smashing.
Thank you so much.
Next question. Question 7. Can I look at your penis?
Matt.
Yes, Matt.
That is the kind of probing question I can picture Louis Theroux asking.
You are correct, Matt. That is a Louis Theroux.
That is right. Yeah. Of course.
What, on a porn? That would have been on the porn series, right?
No, that was just a barbecue. It's just a little Theroux barbecue tradition, because you never know someone until you've seen their genitals, I believe. The penis itself is like a snowflake. There's no one penis is the same. It's a lot like a fingerprint.
One penis is the same.
None. Well, I would say maybe the scrotum's like that because it's got its own like fingerprint kind of wrinkles on it. But you're saying the penis is like a snowflake.
No, the scrotums are a dime a dozen. Scrotums, they grow on trees, Josh. Okay?
You
want to know someone, look at their penis.
I actually think a penis is opposite of the snowflake. Whereas in heat, the snowflake will get smaller. And in cold, it maintains its size. But a penis, in my experience, is the other way around.
I think the metaphor is slightly collapsing under you talking it out. But one thing that doesn't collapse, and that is the friendship that is forged when you've seen your friend's penis in a totally consensual and friendship way, platonic way. You know, it's just two friends just saying, hey, I'll show you yours if you show me mine.
So you get the other person to unzip yours for you. Present it out.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Right. Yeah.
That's nice.
That's an English. We used to do that as well in boarding school.
Well, maybe we went to the same boarding school.
Maybe we did, but we will never discuss it further.
I'm happy with that.
Okay, question 8. Be like a duck, calm on the surface, but always paddling like the Dickens underneath.
Oh, Matt.
Yes, Matt.
Dickens. I mean, there's only one old enough here to use a term like that. It's got to be Mr. Sir Michael Caine.
You are correct, Matt. Yes, that is Sir Michael Caine.
That young people will never say the Dickens.
Not that I'm aware of. And I mean, I think you're the only one who's played a leading role in a Dickens movie.
I have. The Muppet Christmas Carol. You there, boy. What day is it?
Fuck off.
But I sit out on the pond that's near my house in England.
Yeah.
And I sit there and I see the ducks and they always look so calm. But what are they doing underneath? You know, what's going on? What are they plotting? You never see the hands. So they're very sneaky animals because
Think of them as hands.
That's what the duck's feet is. They're their hands.
What are their wings then? Wings aren't hands.
I'd never really thought about the wings. I just imagined the wings were on top, and they were a bit. They were like a coat. You know what I mean? They were like a nice jacket.
Like a shawl.
That's right.
Yeah,
like a shawl. But I always think of the duck's feet, the bird's feet in general as hands because they grip onto little sticks and things like that. And that's why I don't like the ducks because you never know where their hands are. It's like a bad poker player.
Yes.
Are they cheating? I think all ducks are cheaters, and I will never play poker with them ever again.
You haven't frozen again, have you, Matt? No, good. Okay. All right, question 9. You cannot have one bathroom, and it doesn't matter how much you love your wife. You must have 2 bathrooms. You really must. I think it's essential.
Matt.
Yes, Matt.
Well, I feel like I can rule you and me out of this because, it takes a certain budget to have 2 bathrooms. So I'm thinking that's one of our overseas guests. It's got to be Louis Theroux.
It is not. It is Michael Caine there. Another one for Michael.
Thank you very much. It's been Michael Caine.
I'll have you know I have 2 toilets in my house, Matt.
What?
Yeah.
Bloody da.
I'm finding toilets all the time in my house.
How many toilets do you have in your house, Michael?
Last time I checked, it was about 7. But
7's too many.
I have a clue that there is one that I have lost. Just like the Pomeranians. I lose track of them.
Sorry, Michael. Sorry, Sir yes. Michael. What's the reasoning why you've got to have at least 2? It's because of. Did you say it's because of women?
You've got to have 2.
No matter how much you love your wife, you must have 2 bathrooms.
That's right.
Is this elbow related?
No, it's because you just need to have a little Michael Caine tub. You know what I mean? I like to stand in the mirror and I like to go, Michael Caine, Michael Caine, Michael Caine, Michael Caine, Michael Caine, Michael Caine, Michael Caine. And I do that over and over again for hours. And sometimes the wife will come in and be like, are you doing the Michael Caine thing? And I'm like, yes, I'm Michael Caine. It's ridiculous. I wish that she had never seen her.
And our final question for this round. A gentleman never shits.
Louis Theroux.
Yes, Louis.
Is that a Josh Earl?
No, that's a Matt Stewart.
Matt
Point
Stewart.
there for Matt, yes.
Well done, Matt. Yes,
I understand why you might have thought it was me. I do tend to talk about poo far too much for my own liking.
No, but I mean, that's quite the opposite, isn't it? I'm saying
yes.
You shouldn't do it as a gentleman. You're going on about nothing else. Metamucil this. daily, like keeping regular that. I mean,
What do you think? What's the alternative, Matt?
Well, you just you respect yourself and others, and you just don't shit.
Just like your feelings, you hold it in and don't let it out.
Exactly.
Until it causes you great pain.
Do you not think that could be problematic in terms of your health?
No.
Have you? When was the last time you did a big shit?
Well, I've never done one. I'm a gentleman. I would have thought, Louis, you wouldn't have. Are you telling me you shit, Louis, Theroux?
I shit all the time.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's thrown me.
Yeah, I'm a big shitter. I love it. Absolutely nothing better. You're missing out.
BBC actually stands for Big Brown Craps.
Actually, did you know that it actually stands? I just found this out. It stands for Big Black Cocks.
Really?
I can't believe they named a TV station Big Black Cocks. It was
your
outrageous.
TV station.
I know, it's my TV station. I was like, BBC. One day, I walked into the BBC office and I said, hey, BBC, what does this stand for? I always thought that it was the British Broadcasting Corporation. No, they said, it's Big Black Cocks. And I was like, why did you do this?
Well, Louis, in Australia, we have the ABC, which is Average Black Cocks. So it's just, they're fine, but just,
Yeah, right. And it really put a thing in. I said, why don't you change it to, like the British, Broadcasting Workshop, BBW. What about that?
Hey, sorry.
That reminds me, I've got to get the cream pie out of the oven.
What? So, Louis, you were saying before you like to look at other men's cocks, like your friends and whatnot.
Yes.
What Josh just said then about average, is that the kind of language you would use? Average cocks? Is that the kind of thing?
Everything. It's everyone's special. You know what I mean? I think everyone's different. I go around the world and I interview all these people, and and I say, "Excuse me, do you have a penis?" And if they say yes, then I say, "Can I have a squiz?" And you wouldn't believe the penises that I've seen, and they all have something to give.
You got to be careful saying squiz. Very, very close to jizz. But I would say.
Yes, but you didn't think I said jizz, though, did you?
It took me a second. That's the thing.
Really?
It left me.
I thought he said squiz.
Thank you, Michael.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
I mean, that might be a Cockney thing, but I don't know.
I'm not
talk a different language over there, don't you?
Totally different accent.
Oh, okay. What's Cockney?
Well, Cockney is an older, more like, hello, governor.
Right.
When you put on that sort of crazy.
Yeah. Calling people a toilet, that sort of thing. Oh, yeah, shut your lid, you toilet, that sort of thing.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, guys. I've got a message from the Patreon subscribers who are not in. I've got to let them in.
I'll let them in.
Talk amongst yourselves.
It's ridiculous. You're going to have to do some editing.
Well,
Let's
Louis,
open it up to the floor. Yes.
While Josh is doing that, Louis.
No, talk to Louis. Okay.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, Josh was talking about average penises, but there surely are no average snowflakes, and you're saying penises are like snowflakes.
Yes, well, I didn't say that they're average, did I?
No, that's right. So, I mean, but you didn't take umbrage when Josh said it.
Do you want me to take umbrage?
Yes, I would like to see you take more umbrage.
I officially take umbrage.
I think
my umbrage has been taken, and I'm going to take yours. If you're not careful, I'm going to sneak over and take all your umbrage. Okay? How's that feel?
No, it doesn't feel good, Louis. How's things going over in the UK? COVID's sort of been solved over there?
Well, I don't live in the UK. I live in the US. And I believe it's all been solved in the US. Yeah.
That's great news.
All right. At the end of the first round, the scores are Louis, you're on 0 points. No points there.
Oh, fantastic.
Michael Caine, you're on 2 points.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah. I'm on 2 points, but in the lead on 6 points. Matt Stewart.
Bloody hell. This seems to happen when I play you too. I always feel bad because you're from another country and you don't know us as well, even though I am on TV over there. But
I feel like I've known you my whole life.
And I've seen Josh's penis, so I know him quite well, intimately. but only as a friend.
Okay. How would you
Right.
describe it?
Oh yeah, please, I'm interested to know.
I think it's gentle. It's a little bit churlish at times. It does get a bit grumpy. But outside of that, I found it quite well mannered. I was like, you've obviously been, good parents, despite being Tasmanian. And they're quite gentle and lovely. Yeah,
Thank
great
you, Louis.
penis.
Thank you.
4 out of 5. Just because I haven't met a perfect one yet.
The search continues. All right, this round is called Yeah Book. Now, this round, we go back in time and talk about a moment that has stayed with us. And today we're talking about me. Now, when I was 10 years old, my friend's mum, Mrs. Bartlett, would drive me home from basketball training with a bunch of the other kids in my team. And quite often there'd be more than the legal amount of passengers in the car. So we would all take turns riding in the boot of the car. But what happened the time I rode in the boot? Was it A, she was driving very fast and got pulled over by the police? Even though the police were never going to open the boot, I panicked and thought they would, and I'd get arrested. So I started crying in the boot, which made me panic even more and thinking they would hear me. And due to this, I have a fear of small spaces. So that's A. B, she was driving super fast and I was very little and was being thrown around the boot a fair bit. That and the combination of the petrol fumes made me feel nauseous and I threw up. When they opened the boot to let me out, I was covered in vomit and Mrs. Bartlett, along with my parents, had to clean up the sick before all the other kids could be dropped off home. That's B. Or C, I was so scared in the boot that I pissed my pants. Because it was nighttime and I was wearing black basketball shorts, they couldn't see the piss mark when they let me outside of the boot. I never told anyone that I pissed in Mrs. Bartlett's boot and no one ever brought it up with me. So I am 100% positive that I got away with it. A, B, or C. Now, one of these is true. You can ask me as many questions as you want. Bear in mind, I don't want you to get it right. I want to get your points.
It's very funny that you talk about the boot.
Yes.
When filming Inception,
Oh, yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio refused to be transported anywhere except for in the trunk of a car. He had a nice little setup, a little bed and little martini glasses and a little bar and I believe even a toilet. So he would not have that problem that you just had. But Leo loves the boot, get him in a trunk. I believe that's not the only time. I believe that in The Revenant, he was also carted across the countryside in a trunk.
In What's Eating Gilbert Grape 2, he was like, what's in the car's trunk? Boom, boom.
It always asks, everyone asks what's eating Gilbert Grape, but nobody asks who.
Or why.
Yeah, that's right. Interesting.
Or when? I haven't seen The Revenant, but that is where Leonardo DiCaprio lives inside a bear, I think. So was that somehow preparing for that role?
Sorry, what was your question that you were asking Leonardo DiCaprio?
Sorry, Leo. Are you free to take this one?
Yes, I will act like Leonardo DiCaprio.
What is it about the boot why does he love traveling in the boot?
I think it maybe is like a fetus thing. He's probably got memory. The reason why he's such a good actor is that he can remember what life was like in the womb.
Is that good for acting, is it?
Yes. Every good actor, myself included, has wonderful memories of being in the womb. And it is a wonderful time. And I never forget it because I was floating around here, breathing through a tube, and also eating through a little tube that was connected to my mummy's tummy. But one thing that they don't tell you about, and I remember this greatly, is that the organs are all made up in the placenta and then shifted down into the baby at a later date.
What?
So you can remember them forming like a Voltron, kind of all coming together into...
That's right, to make Michael Caine.
All right, well, this is getting us a lot further in whether this is true about me. Which one?
Yes, that's right. So, I mean, I think we're not super different in age. I think, was this something just of kids born in the 80s, always got thrown in the boot.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it was a station wagon where the boot was. It was like a sedan, so you'd be closed in there. It was dark. There was nothing you could do. And Mrs. Bartlett would go over the speed bumps at getting out of the basketball center, like boom, 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 boom. She'd go pretty fast, and then up Mount Road to my house. Yeah, she loved it.
I know that you're going to lie for this question, but do petrol fumes make you nauseous usually?
I normally
going to try and.
I normally love petrol. I love the smell of petrol, but in that tight place where there wasn't much air coming in, it was a lot.
Hmm.
Don't know if you've ever been in the boot, Louis.
I've never been in a boot myself, but I've got some friends that have been in boots, and I own a pair of boots, and I know that that's not the same thing. But that's just another one of my crazy little jokes and japes that I like to do, where I'm like, oh, it means two meanings. Isn't that weird? So a lot of good times with that one.
Yeah. So the third one you pissed in there, and no one ever found out.
No one ever. Well, they didn't say anything. Got away with it. Perfect crime. Was wearing like satiny kind of, not satiny, but like, the basketball shorts that aren't.
Was this in your dance period?
No, it was before the dance period. I was only like 10 or 11.
Okay. So do you think, looking back, do you think they were being polite and they did smell or notice?
Not knowing the Bartletts, they absolutely would have roasted me about it. There was, my friend Nick was the youngest of them, and then there was the two extra ones, older ones, and they would have bullied me mercilessly about it if they found out I pissed in the boot.
Right. Wow. So you would have been stoked.
Yeah, got away with it. Perfect crime.
I'm gonna go. So, okay, piss,
vomit,
or piss, or
crying.
Crying.
So it's a bodily function thing.
So something came out of me. Yeah.
You leaked something out.
Yeah.
One of your orifices. Are eyes orifices?
Well, no.
Absolutely, they're orifices.
No, they're not.
They're the most powerful orifice in the human body.
Well, you never blink, Michael. So
that is right, and that is why I honour my orifices, as it is important for us all to do.
All right, what do we think? Do we think A, B, or C? We'll go Louis Theroux. What do you think?
I think I'm going to go with what my gut sort of tells me as a journalist from the Big Black Hawks is I think it's going to be, I'm just going to play it safe and go crying.
Crying, okay. Matt?
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I just really felt, I mean, it was the only question I asked, but I feel like there was some truth in that piss story.
So it's always truth in piss. and Michael Caine.
I'm going to go with the piss as well.
You're going to go with the piss as well? The correct answer was C. I did piss my pants in the boot of Mrs. Bartlett's car.
Son of a bitch.
I got away with it until now. I'm sorry, Louis. Point there for Michael. Point for Matt. Point for me.
Josh, yeah. I'm looking at a few of the live viewers here, and they're all reacting very differently to the show. My favorite, I think, is Lib Mays, who seems to just be finding it as the most relaxing experience. I think she's about to nod off.
I haven't been going through the pictures. I should have done. I was looking at the thing there. So Dweebles was like the piss is the one from the very start. He was like, that was it. It's got to be the piss. They know me so well. But yeah, it was the piss. So there you go. At the end of the round, scores are Louis Theroux on 0 points still. I'm on 3 points. So Michael Caine on 3 points. In the lead on 7 points is Matt Stewart. All right.
Well
here
done,
we
mate.
go.
You have
Thanks so much, Sir Michael.
You have made a powerful enemy.
Oh no. I thought we were getting on swimmingly.
Yeah, I'm just joshing with you.
Okay.
Now, this round is called Yeah, Nah, Yeah. In this round, I'll read out a story about you or about someone on the panel. If you think it's true, you say yeah. If it's a lie, you'll say nah. You can ask them any questions you want. Bear in mind, they want you to get incorrect, so they get your point. So, to Louis. Now, Matt recently filmed a bunch of videos around beer where he was lucky enough to interview one of his idols, Mr. Merv Hughes. They had to change locations, and Merv offered Matt a lift. When Matt got in the car, Merv turned the car on to discover that he was listening to a podcast with Oprah Winfrey and Eckhart Tolle on mindfulness. Yeah or nah?
Well, I know that you do have a little documentary where you do. Is that Matt's All About It?
This is a different one he's talking about here.
I love Matt's All About It. It's you just go to different buildings and you go, Matt's up with that. And then we investigate what the building is. It's just a cheesecake factory. Oh, Matt's All About It. And then it's just you eating a budget. I love that episode. One of my favourites.
Well, if you don't mind, Michael, I'm trying to ask some questions.
Yes, of course. Sorry. I just get very excited. I'm such a big fan.
We had to really retool this show for the Australian market. We took out the buildings and we replaced it with beer. And it ended up just being a beer-based show.
A beer-based show. Fantastic. That's food. I don't touch beer myself.
No, drink it, Michael.
I got to keep fighting fit, so I only drink very low calories things like whiskey and milkshakes.
What kind of, obviously skim milk then?
What? Skim milk?
Skim milk. The lighter milk?
I don't believe in it. I don't believe it's skim milk.
Oh, it exists.
No, I don't believe it. It's like Santa Claus. It's something that you tell your children to make sure that they are not naughty.
No, it's if you don't believe in skim milk, you don't receive any skim milk.
So it's like a sort of manifesting into reality.
Yes.
So if I started to believe in skim milk,
you would get some skim milk.
I would get skim milk. But I don't want skim milk because I don't believe that skim milk exists.
Okay, right. So I'm just going to go ahead and ask the questions. Right, so the mindfulness was playing.
Yeah, I was shocked. So, firstly, that Merv was okay to drive because everyone else on set was drinking. He was the only one available to drive apart from the director. So there were two cars. And yeah, I honestly did not. I recognized Oprah Winfrey's voice. I'm not, I'm somewhat cultured.
Yes.
Eckhart Tolle. I always thought he was pronounced Eckhart Tolle until I heard him say his own name, which he does at the top of the episode, Eckhart Tolle. And I was surprised there. I didn't know what he did. I thought he was a race car driver, but it turns out he's some sort of a spirit man.
The power of now, man.
So Merv the Perv was
Merv the Perv.
So
Are you a bit of a cricket fan, Louis?
I've heard about it. He would, and I've listened to the 12th Man documentary series. It's a wonderful documentary series about
I might say it's marvelous.
The wide world of sports on the television that you've got there. Fantastic. Some of the things they do there is it's a bit racist now, I have to say.
I reckon you could leave that now. I reckon it was racist back then too.
But maybe you don't realize this. The guy who came up with that also had a #1 hit on the music charts called Australiana. So he did some good work for Australian culture as well.
Australiana, that's ostentatious though.
Yeah, but it was written by 12th Man.
Wow. That's a bit of Australian trivia.
Yeah, a bit of a fun fact.
Fun fact. Thank you.
I'm starting to just say things I think now.
Oh, I don't know what that's like. I would never do it. I think very carefully before I speak.
So
overthought it.
What do you think, Louis? Do you think this is or
I think that's correct, yes.
This is an untrue story. A point there for Matt, yes.
But you talked to Merv the Perv.
Well, no, I mean, I know I've never heard that he's a perv. He was a gentleman.
I'm sure he is, but that's what you used to call out on the grounds.
Oh, okay.
I always heard Swervin Mervin.
Swervin Mervin, beautiful. But I would not be surprised. He was a deep guy, a very funny man, and a gentleman. Don't reckon he would shit.
But not deep enough for that story to be true, though.
No, I just made it up. I thought it'd be funny having Merv listen to Eckhart Tolle.
I genuinely didn't realize it was pronounced Tolle until you sent me that message. Or no, actually, until you said it out.
I said it, yeah, because I didn't send you a voice message. All right, now to Matt. You got a point there, but to Matt, when Michael was 10 years old, he was in a pantomime. When he entered the stage, he got a huge laugh, which he described as the most electric feeling he had ever had. He performed with gusto, and the audience laughed the entire time. It wasn't until he left the stage that he realized his fly was open. Yeah or nah?
Oh, I mean, I'd love to hear what Louis thinks of this.
You want me to ask the question? I mean,
yeah,
it's your turn. People have just listened to me.
Yeah, but I mean, you are a guy who knows about seeing other men's penises and probably your own as well. But what about this? Michael Caine doing a whole play with his chop out. Is that am I understanding that right, Michael?
My fly was just open.
Okay.
It's a little fun thing. Okay, there was nothing about it, and I was playing a little crazy butler, and I was supposed to go on and say, "Uh-oh, my lord, what's this then?" And then, of course, a genie was going to come in and sing a little number with a bunch of little puppy dogs. They weren't real puppy dogs. They were obviously people dressed as puppy dogs, because we all know puppy dogs cannot sing. But as I went on, I absolutely smashed it. I was on top of the world. This is early days. Of course, I was only 10 years, so I'd only had...
How old were you?
30. I was 10 years old.
Only 10 years old?
I'd only... That's right.
I was only 10 years old.
I was only 10 years old.
Okay.
So I'd only had about 20 years acting experience under my belt.
Oh, of course, in the womb.
That's right.
You had 10 years in the womb.
No, I was 10 years in both my mum's ovaries and my dad's scrotum. Okay. And I remember it all. I remember being two places at once, and I was extremely wriggly in one place and then just chilling somewhere.
So
I would watch all these. Okay, yes.
I was going to say you were 10. Other people in the cast, how were they older, younger?
It was all 10.
Oh, everyone was 10.
10-year-olds.
Okay.
It was all 10-year-olds, and we were doing Romeo and Juliet crossed with Carry On style pantomime, crossed with A Christmas Carol.
So the star-crossed lovers were crossed 2 more times.
That's right, because it was star-crossed lovers were then visited by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, and there was a genie, and there was a bit where we go. There was a bad guy in like a little. He had nothing to do with the plot, and everyone would go behind you, and we couldn't see him.
So what
does this all have to be true, Josh?
No, if you think that the whole story is true, or if there's some lies, there can be some lies. But if you think it's all true, you say yeah. If you think there's some lies, you say nah.
I was believing for a while. So you're saying that your chop wasn't out. You hadn't flopped the chop. It was just
not flopped the
fly
chop.
Down.
It just had the fly down to half mast, so to speak. Although I did not know who had died that day to warrant it. But that's the problem, because I did not know that it was down. And I thought that the audience's laughter was incurred purely by me staring directly into their souls with the power of my most powerful orifices, the eyes.
Yeah, eyes up here, please.
Yes.
Look. I mean, it's tricky because we're dealing with one of the greatest actors of all time. It'd be better to lie at me, but I buy this. I say yeah.
Matt, you are correct. It is a true story.
You're on
yes,
fire, Matt.
You haven't got anything wrong.
Absolutely on fire. Okay.
Very
You
good.
need to slow down. We're all worried about you.
I just saw someone in the chat, Louis, asking, "Are you keen for peen?"
Am I keen for peen?
Yeah.
Only friends peen. Okay, and there's nothing weird about it. It's just, it's an old. It's very English. Okay.
And Michael Caine, are you Caine for pain?
Am I Caine for pain?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. You might need to know because I am selling these wonderful Caine chairs at Michael's Caine
Yes.
that have aluminium in the covers, and they are supposed to cure from all back pain. It's got aluminium and it's got magnesium.
Oh,
I've
nice.
gone into it.
That's good.
And if you sit on it, all your pain in your joints will go. So in that case, I am actually Caine for pain.
I'll have to hit you up as someone who has back pain. Okay, so to Michael now. Now, when Louis was in his 20s, he was living in Washington when one day he went to a nearby park to buy weed. After walking around trying to make eye contact for an hour, he finally scored some. But 5 minutes later, he was arrested for possession. On the day of the court case, he simply rang them up and said he couldn't make it. And that was the last he ever heard of it. Yeah or nah? So it was to you, Sir Michael Caine, about Louis Theroux.
So what exactly happened?
Well, I was in my 20s and I was living in Washington. And then I went to a park to, because we were kids, and to buy some weed to smoke a big bowl with some mates to bong on.
Are you a big smoker, Louis?
No, not now. No, I don't really smoke as much anymore. But there was a time that I was really down on the hooch, that I punched a cone like a bad boy,
Yeah.
But and so we went down there, and then obviously we got arrested because we did it quite openly. Sometimes you forget that it's illegal, but it was actually, and we got and obviously the Bobby came round and he said, "What are you doing?" And we said, "We're buying weed. I'm Louis from Theroux from the BBC." I wasn't from the BBC at that point, but that was just already there.
Manifest destiny.
That's right. So I just called them up and I said, "Hey, I can't make it."
Did you have an excuse?
I just got lucky.
Sorry, Michael, but I want to ask a question. Did you have an excuse about why you couldn't make it, or just said, "No, I can't"?
No, I just said, "I can't make it. I can't make it down there. Sorry."
So I don't know if you'll listen at the start. My namesake Josh Earl in Polk County doesn't turn up to his court dates, and he gets thrown in jail. How come you got to walk free?
Probably privilege.
Okay, yeah.
Connections? Are you a well-connected man? You said Washington. Is that Washington in America?
Yeah,
yes.
It is.
Right,
absolutely.
so you're in America now. You're in America then. Why do you even have an English accent?
Well, I went to school in England, and I lived there. I grew up there. Sort of when I was a kid, I was in the US. My father, was a famous writer, he would travel and do things like that. So we moved around a bit. But,
born in Singapore, then lived in England, crisscrossed to America and back. Place. Yeah. You're a man of the world, Louis.
That's right. And so we kind of moved everywhere. It's probably why I've got sort of a weird accent.
That must be what it is.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Kind of a weird accent.
Sometimes you do jump between one and the other. So yeah, okay. Michael, what do you think? Yeah or nah?
I think it checks out. But with my powers of deduction, we've had one nah and one yeah. So I could go 50-50 here.
Or what are you going to go with?
I'm going to say it was in the US. It would have been, I say nah.
So Michael Caine, you are incorrect. Louis, you get a point. This is a true story.
I got you, you son of a bitch. And you fell for it. You thought that what the fuck? Fuck you.
You've got me. I really was flummoxed. What a great acting ability that you have.
Yeah, I just called them. I said I couldn't do it. And I don't know what happened. It's like it just got lost in the mail or something.
And they let you back in the country. I said, this is my thing. I can't believe they just let you back in. Like, surely...
I think they just totally forgot about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Absolute privilege. All right, at the end of the round, the scores are Louis.
Also, my father is a famous writer. And as we all know, in the US, famous people don't have to obey the law. So I think that had maybe a little something to do with it as well.
Okay, pulled some strings. All right, at the end of that round, the scores are Louis, you're on 1 point. I'm on 3 points. So Michael Caine's on 3 points. And in the lead on 9 points, it's Matt Stewart. All right, we are going to run through this round because I've heard someone has to get out early. So here we go. This round is called Who.
Josh, name and shame. Who's the one who's making us leave early?
I've just heard someone's got a Twitch. They've got to start.
Michael Caine, surely not.
Yeah, get on it.
Actually, I do have a little camming. I do some camming on the side where I dance and, things like that.
All right.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Let's get into it. This round is called Who. In this round, I'll read out 10 questions about the four of us. I'm included. If you think you know who it is, buzz in. Your name's your buzzers. You're going to point if you get it right, point off if you get it wrong. Only round you can lose points. Question 1. Who here had a job as a future Deputy Prime Minister's personal alarm clock? Had to wake up the future
Louis
Deputy Prime
Theroux.
Minister. Yes, Louis.
Michael Caine.
No, it was you dipshit. You point off. You've lost your point. At boarding school. Yes. Nick,
sorry, I was on the weed quite a bit there.
Which Prime Minister was that, Louis?
It was Nick Clegg, who was...
Nick Clegg.
Yeah.
How could I
Clegg.
forget? Clegg's, I used to wake up and say, Clegg's with the hairy legs.
Oh, you are a scamp.
I'm a real roustabout.
It's so good to get a dipshit in today, Josh,
Thanks.
for the live audience as well.
I actually think I've brought it back into the popular lexicon. I'm seeing it all over the place.
I
But
love a
I
good
would like to
dipshit.
think, All right. Question 2. Who here once wrote a fan letter to a brewery?
Michael Caine.
Yes, Michael Caine.
That is Matt Stewart.
It is Matt Stewart. Yes, the person drinking a beer on screen. Yes.
I want to love anything. I want to love my wife as much as Matt Stewart loves beer.
What brewery was it?
It was Bogues down in your home state of Tasmania,
My
close to your home city.
Well, my adopted home city. I lived there for 5 years in Launceston.
I just like to imagine you going, dear Bogues.
Every
I never
brewing
do
day.
this.
Every brewing day, it smelled like wheat bix in the town. In the morning, you'd wake up.
Oh, that's where
Yeah.
Weet-Bix are made.
We did
No,
it.
no, just
Sanitarium down there?
no,
Oh,
just
yeah,
the
gotcha.
brewing
The brewing
smells made it
process,
smell like
yes.
wheat bix. You'd wake up and go,
They sent
hot wheat bix.
They replied with a beautiful package to me as well. They sent me like a hat and some posters and a bottle opener.
Do you know
Beautiful
that
brewery.
Weet-Bix is owned by Sanitarium, and they're
Yes.
Seventh-day Adventists.
So they don't pay tax.
That's right. So the entire company doesn't pay tax.
Craziness.
Mm.
So
And
there's,
Vitabrits don't add sugar, whereas Weet-Bix do.
There you go.
but
What's the difference between?
I did that thing again where I just knew something, so I said it.
Should have put your glasses on. All right, next question. Who here has a podcast about gangs?
Matt,
Michael Caine.
I heard Matt first.
that's got to be Louis Theroux.
It's not. It's Michael Caine.
What?
Michael tricked you there.
That's why I said Michael Caine. I gave you a hint, and you didn't take
Can
it.
I just,
I was supposed to
interrupted a
protect you.
possible dipshit? Shattered.
Yeah, a podcast about gang life. Michael Caine loves it.
Michael Caine.
You've played
I
a
love-
few great gang members, haven't you? over the
Yes, I
years?
have indeed. I have indeed. But I love gangs and gang signs, and I love reading about the Crips and the Bloods.
Which team are you? Which side?
Well, they're all one side now. There's no such.
They come together?
Yes, they've. I believe that they have sort of come together. The Crips and the Blood is not what it used to be in, say, like the 90s.
And they,
But if I had to pick one, I would pick a Crib.
when they came together, did they put down their red and their blue and just wear purple? Because that's an amalgamation of the two colours. Is that?
I think they still use the same. They still use
Okay.
Crips and Blood colours. But yeah, but it's not like it once was.
All right, next
It's
question.
when you get into the cartels now, and they have really changed a lot of the landscape, especially in the Los Angeles County area. So you've got to think about that. And I do wonderful episodes about how the cartels are moving in and they've changed the landscape of the gang lands. But of course, don't get me started about the Chicago.
Something's happening in the chat. I don't know what's happening. I'm going to stay out of it. Sort yourselves out. All right, next round. Next question. Who here has a favorite shirt they like to wear because it doesn't make any noise?
Wait, are you involved in this one, Josh?
I'm involved.
Michael Caine.
Yes, Michael
I'm
Caine.
saying Matt. I'm saying
I
No,
already
it's
said
Josh.
something.
No,
It's too
Michael,
late.
you're too late. Michael, who was it?
I'm going to say
I mean,
Josh.
Louis. No, it was. Michael said me. It was actually Louis Theroux. Point
Yes,
off,
that's right.
Michael. Yeah.
I call it my silent shirt. No one can hear me. I become invisible to the human ear.
Apparently, you've worn it for the last 20 years on camera because it doesn't make noise, it doesn't rustle.
That's right. There's nothing worse than a rustle of any kind.
Yes. like when you walk into an audition and there's a rustle there, you're not going to get it.
Ridiculous.
You're not going to get it.
But if you want something, because obviously we're wearing little lapel mics and things like that, and it's just a nightmare otherwise. It's ridiculous. I would go shirtless if I had to. I'm quite buff now, don't you think? Don't you think I'm buff?
You're very, it's the John Wick.
Would you describe that I'm buff?
Yes, you're buff.
Thank you.
Louis buff. All right, next question. Who here once, while they were on a bus, tackled a man who was fighting the driver?
Matt, that feels like a Michael Caine.
You are correct, Matt. That was a Michael Caine. Point there for Matt.
I would have loved to have seen that. Michael, what happened?
I just got her. I said, "What are you doing?" And I gave him a good headbutt. And I tackled to the ground.
Well, the person in my research, the person who actually it was that you tackled was Billy Connolly.
That's right.
Your good friend Billy Connolly, who had a few too many drinks and thought he'd tackle the punch the bus driver. And yeah.
That's right. And that's the difference between me and Louis, is that I sat, you know who your friends are, by giving them a good headbutt and a tackle, whereas he loves to headbutt their tackle. It's a little joke. Not a lot of people know that.
There it is. All right. Question 6. Who here has had the Disney's Gummy Bears theme song going through their head on and off for about 20 years?
Louis Theroux?
Yes, Louis.
Is that Josh?
No, that is Matt Stewart there. Point off, Louis.
It's running. It's just going again.
Dancing.
I don't even know the words.
High adventure that's beyond compare. They are the gummy bears.
You got a very nice singing voice, Louis.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's very nice.
Can you do a Gummy Bears on the auto tune?
Gummy bears bouncing in and everywhere. High adventures and beyond compare. They are the gummy bears.
Michael Caine, do you have auto tune on your voice as well?
I do. Every celebrity gets an auto tune implanted into the esophagus. Gummy bears, out and here and there and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare. They are the gummy bears.
Oh. All right, and then next question. Who here has only smoked pot once in their life?
Michael Caine.
Yes, Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Yes, you are correct. I can't give you the point, though. I just didn't get to give you a dipshit.
I don't know how this works.
Josh, say the line we all want to hear.
It was you dipshit.
I know, that's why I said it.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, we'll move on. Okay. Who here used to have a monthly column in Penthouse magazine?
Michael Caine.
Oh, Matt.
Yes, Michael Caine.
Louis Theroux.
No, that was me. A point off, Michael Caine.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what? You had a monthly column in Penthouse.
They called it Earl's Court, and I just wrote about whatever.
You talk about it was a lot like those other men. What's the other ones that they call?
FHM and
FHM. That's right. Did you have to use the words like BAPS?
No, smooth.
Smooth. Did you have to write it for people with a?
Is it the Australian version or the international?
The Australian version. And I started off because during Comedy Festival one year, my publicist that I hired said, "Hey, Penthouse would like 300 words to just promote your show." So I wrote it. At the time, I was a librarian, so I wrote it from the perspective of a librarian in Penthouse and doing all those kind of like take my hair off and let my glasses out and all that kind of stuff, all the other way around. And they liked it, and so they offered me a job, and it was like 500 words, $500. It was great. And then they said I could write about anything I wanted. Didn't have to be sexual at all. So I just wrote about stuff in the library. I wrote about fonts. It was great.
In the chat, Harvey Wiseman just said that he only ever bought the Penthouses for your columns.
Right. All right. Next question. Whose grandmother, when she turned 100, had 100 cupcakes delivered to her from Tom Cruise?
That feels too big for Bernie to me. I'm going to say Matt.
Yes, Matt.
I'm going to go with Louis Theroux.
It was Louis Theroux. Yes, point there for Matt.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because your cousin Justin.
I feel like
worked
Michael
with him.
Caine's mum would have turned 100 years ago.
Yes,
That's right, yeah. But he came around and he popped around. He laughed at, got on their couch, things like that, and then threatened them.
Did you talk to him about your documentary on Scientology at all? Did you say, "Hey, I've got a bit of a documentary"?
He hasn't seen it. I haven't talked to him yet, which is weird because we do see each other. Or at least we saw each other, say, in the Eyes Wide Shut parties that we go to, which is just where we go over to his house and watch Eyes Wide Shut.
Yes. Which for you, I mean, Michael Caine, if you watched Eyes Wide Shut, that would be such a foreign film for you.
A foreign film?
Well, the closing of the eyes would be a foreign thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
I would like to watch it because I like to see things that I never even thought of before. And so it's like, this looks like something that I would never be imagining is to close my eyes. But little did I know that I got to see Nicole Kidman's pussies. Bats.
All right, and our final question for the game.
Bringing it around.
Yeah, it's
bringing it around. He's picking up things and then he's putting them back in, saying, "What about this?"
That's why he's a sir. That's why he's a sir. Now,
That's why you take improv classes.
Who here once said "gorgeous" to someone, and the person they said it to agreed that they couldn't pull off the word "gorgeous"?
Louis Theroux?
Yes, Louis.
Is that Michael Caine?
No, it was Matt Stewart. Point off Louis.
Gorgeous. See?
Oh yeah, I take it back. That's nice.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
I messaged a friend describing an Angel Olsen song. I said, check out the new Angel Olsen song. It is gorgeous. And then there was like a 30-second gap, no reply. And I panicked. I'm like, I can't really pull off gorgeous, can I? And I said, nah, I don't think you can.
I feel like that with emojis. I'm like, nah, not going to, I just can't, I don't feel comfortable doing them.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that story. Okay.
I don't believe in emojis.
No, it's funny. I mean, this is our problem, isn't it, Josh? Surely we should be able to pull off gorgeous and emojis.
I might try it in this when I do I might say with the gorgeous Matt Stewart and do some emojis at the bottom when I promote this episode. Hey, that's the end of the game. At the end of the game, the scores are Louis Theroux, -2 points.
Yes.
Michael Caine, 2 points.
Michael Caine.
Josh Earl, 3 points. But our winner on 10 points is Matt Stewart.
Thank you so much.
Well
Embarrassed as always to win.
I think
on
that's
these great episodes.
3 in a row, and this is it. We're not going to do another one with you three.
What did we do?
Nothing. I just think 3 is a nice number. Tied up at 3.
I think.
Josh, have you ever come second before on this show?
No, and I said as soon as I win the game, that's it. I'm retiring the podcast. So if you really wanted me to stop the podcast, you should have got all the questions wrong in the final round, Matt, and I would have won. All right. So because you win, Matt, people can find you. You got Do Go On. You got Primates. Where else can people find you?
Just I'm online and all the classic places. MattStew_art on Twitter. And I've just been doing some pretty groundbreaking investigative journalism on Primates, a podcast that you, Josh, have been a guest on before, and so has Ben Russell, who was mentioned earlier.
We mentioned, yep.
But the last 2 episodes, we've been looking into a photo of a gorilla titty slide or an ape titty slide. It's got 2 slides coming out where the tits would be on the gorilla. Someone posted the photo online.
I saw the photo, yeah.
And we've so far done 2 episodes looking into it, and it is heating up.
Excellent. So Primates can be found where you listen to this. You'll be able to find Primates as well. Great. Hey, Louis Theroux, where can people find you? Or do you have anything you want to plug? Is there any person you want to plug?
I would love to plug my friend Ben Russell.
Oh, yeah?
He is really cool and smart, and he smells great, and he can do complex poems in his mind.
What's his penis like?
It's really cool.
really good. And I've heard he's got a Twitch that's happening right now. If everyone in this chat wants to go and watch Ben's Twitch, where do they find it, Louis?
Twitch.tv/Bond member.
Bond member, great. And someone in the pod says, very nice that Ben lent you his Zoom link too, Louis, seeing your
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your name on the thing is...
My name says Louis Theroux.
Okay.
And I am Michael Caine.
Michael, where can people find you?
MichaelCaine.com. All your Caine needs. Michael's Caine. Yum, yum, yum.
Hey, thank you everyone for watching this. I'm not sure if I'll do it again next week. It's fun, but it's also more stress. And but it's been fun. Hey, thanks everyone who's Patreon subscribers. Thanks everyone who's been downloading the podcast. Hopefully we're going to be able to lockdown soon. Bye. Thanks.
Laters.
Thanks, guys. That was great. Thank you so much, everyone in the chat. Thanks for going crazy with it and being cool during the little stuff at the start when I didn't have the people pinned. I had them pinned but not spotlighted.
Thanks, everyone.
Hey, Matt and Ben, if you could email me your files.
Will do.
I'll put it out Wednesday night.
Will do. Thank you.
Thanks,
Awesome.
everyone.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Later.
See yous. Bye, all. Someone said listen to the grub. Cool. All right.
You just want me to leave now, Josh? Is that it? Just like that?
Well, if you
Like,
we can chat.
Nothing.
This is the
Like
after
just-
show. This is the after show. I thought I actually thought you'd already gone. I thought you were frozen. So I'm just going to stop the recording.
Towards the end of the episode, there was a lot of freezing going on.